I want to thank you guys all for coming here today. This is the Gonzalez family. We got Jack up here, and I want to thank Xana's family for putting this together. I didn't have to pick up the phone. I didn't have to write an email. I didn't have to do anything. And I know that an event like this large with all these things took a lot of people, and they volunteered their time. And we want to thank who you know if you were a part of this. I can't say everyone by name, but I want to thank you. We're going to say a couple stories about our girls and help you guys understand how much we love them and how we miss them, and how we hope this community can get strong and heal, and mainly just understand what we lost and how much the world has lost with these two girls and these other three girls in Zion and Nathan. All right, my wife will read a poem that she had on her page, Kaylee, and here you go.
He came across this going through Kaylee's stuff. It's called Milk and Honey.
Most important is love, like it's the only thing you know how. At the end of the day, all of this means nothing. This page, where we're sitting, your degree, your job, the money, nothing even matters except love and human connection. You, who you love, and how deeply you love them, how you touch the people around you, and how much you give them. Reflection was getting me.
Kaylee was our middle child out of 5. She was always competitive. She was smack dab middle, so Stephen and Olivia were a little bit older. Autumn and Aubrey were a little bit younger, so she kind of had to figure out where to fit in, and she definitely did. There was never a day that she didn't want to race her brother because she was just determined that girls were faster than boys, or that she didn't want to go bug her little sisters and make sure they knew that she was older and they were the little sisters. Kaylee is a huge part of our family. The dynamics of our family will never be the same. We know this is God's will. It's hard to accept. But she was a beautiful girl. She started junior high with Maddie, as you all knew, and our family became 6 very quickly. There was a lot of friends throughout this family that came and gone and went and whatever, and we're still friends, but we don't see him that much. That wasn't Maddie. Maddie and Kaylee were by each other's sides every day. They went to other countries together. Karen took them to Hawaii together. We took them to Mexico together. They went to college together. They went to high school together. They lived in their own apartment together. They were sisters. She was one of ours. And we're just heartbroken. And we know it's just going to take time for everybody to heal. If that's possible. I just pray that it is. Thank you, everybody.
You guys want to say anything? We're going to share just a little bit of a story so you could understand how Kaylee was. My father, who also passed away this year, he's that guy that sits in the lazy boy chair and has the controller and owns the room. Well, when he wasn't looking, he'd go probably get himself a beer or something, and Kaylee would grab his controller and pull the batteries out of it and go hide them.
Like 2 years old, like 2 or 3
Two-
years old, little.
she was 2 years, 3 years old. My dad would rant and rave that somebody was hiding the batteries, and we just thought he was kind of losing his mind because it was happened like 4 or 5 different times. And Kaylee would just sit on the couch with a big grin on her face and just watch what my dad would do and how upset he would get. And I believe that's around the time that my dad named her K-Bug
Bug us.
because she bugs everyone. And it stuck because it was appropriate. She wasn't perfect. She was our little girl. She was ornery, and we loved her for that. You know, it was okay that that was her signature, and nobody tried to change her.
Another thing. Similar to the battery story, back in the day when we had cordless phones, 3 or 4 throughout your house, going to my sister's, her favorite thing to do was to throw them in the toilet. So she would tell me, Christy, Kaylee threw the phones in the toilet again. I'm like, I'm sorry, sissy. I'm sorry. Can we dry it out? Is it done? Was it clean water? I don't know how many phones I had to replace because for whatever reason, she would throw those cordless phones in the toilet.
All right, I think that's everything. Is that
Olivia?
everything? You want to say something?
Oh gosh, so I'm Olivia. I don't even know if I need this mic. I have a loud voice. I apologize. I'm Kaylee's older sister. And I mean, everyone's kind of said it. She was kind of a pain in our butts, but she was our pain in the butt, and we loved her. But one story that I, for whatever reason, thought about when I walked up here, and I haven't thought about in a long time, was one time my sister came to me and she said, Olivia, I think I got something stuck up my nose. And I said, whatever, what do you mean you have something stuck up your nose? She said, I feel like there's something stuck up there. So I go and I press on her nose, and there's a really hard lump in there. So I'm like, we're gonna have to go talk to Mom. This is serious. So we take her up to Mom, and sure enough, she had a bead stuck up there. So we wind up going over to our aunt's house, Aunt Tammy, to kind of try to fish out this bead, and eventually we get it out, and we ask her, we say, Kaylee, how did you get that bead up your nose? And she goes, I don't know. It must have popped up there when I fell off the bed. And I don't know why I thought of that story. I don't know what it says about her, but that was one of my favorite stories of Kaylee.
She was a turd. That's what it means.
So, along the lines of her poem, I just want to tell everyone, if you can learn from our disaster that we're all working through together, you really have to just take care of each other. You got to reach out and hug the people, make yourself uncomfortable, and just be part of the healing and take advantage of every opportunity that you can tell your child that you love them. And don't let them walk out that door without giving them a hug, even if they're annoyed and they don't want you and you're embarrassing. Just say, I'll hug you longer if you just don't get this over with. So if that's, it's going to take that. This community is going to help us. We all know that we can't do it alone. And I thank you guys all for here and starting that process right here in our own little community. Thank you guys.
Hi, I'm Jazzy, and I'm Xana's sister. First, I want to thank you all for coming. It's really nice to see so many familiar faces and so many people that had so much love for Xana, Ethan, Kaylee, and Madison. Xana was such a light in my life and so many others. She was the person I could relate to the most, and she knew and understood me more than anyone. Losing her is the hardest thing I've ever had to go through, and it has left me heartbroken. Xana was the funniest person I knew and made me laugh every time I spent time with her. I have so many memories and stories I could share about her, but I know remembering the times I had with her brings me so much joy and happiness. Everyone thought we were twins growing up, and I remember in some of our last moments together, we were in her room laughing in the mirror because neither of us thought we looked alike, and her friends just laughed. She was my baby sister, but she was so much wiser and experienced so much more in life than I ever have. She never let an opportunity pass her by and enjoyed all the moments she had. She was always doing something fun, and in any situation, it was always so much more fun with Xana there. I remember I would get so mad because I always thought my friends liked her more than me, but she was a person that everyone enjoyed being around. She was so positive and lighthearted and understood the gift of life more than anyone I know. I remember her getting so mad at me for caring about the little things that didn't matter. She would always tell me she wouldn't know what to do without me, and now I have to live this life without her. I know she would want me to cherish the times I have with the people I love. She would want me to make the most out of every situation. She would want me to have fun, continue my journey in life, and constantly tell people how much I love them and they mean to me. I remember going to hang out with her about a couple months ago. I remember telling her that we should try to do a sister date every week to spend more time with each other before I graduate. I remember her loving the idea, and her friend Ella reached out to me and told me that Xana was so happy that we were going to start doing that. I love her so much, and I wish I would have spent more time with her and had the chance to continue spending time with her. I know she loved living in her house in Moscow with her friends. I would hear so many stories about her and her roommates, and it made me so happy to know she had such great friendships. She really knew everyone and was friends with everyone. She had the best friend group and had friends in so many different sororities, fraternities, and organizations. I was so happy she was dating Ethan, and Ethan was such an amazing person. Xana never had a boyfriend before, and my dad and I wondered if she was ever going to get one. Ethan was that special, though, because I know she was picky with boys. They were always so happy, and the way she would talk and smile about him was something I've never seen her do before. She truly loved him so much, and I know he had so much love for her. They had something so special, and everyone around them knew. It's comforting to know that they're all watching down on us from heaven now. Casey Johnson is a best friend of ours, and her mother, Susie Graham, was like a mom to us. Susie had a long fight with breast cancer and unfortunately passed away last year. Casey texted me a couple weeks ago saying, "I know Xana isn't alone up there in heaven. I feel my mom in the sunshine, and yesterday the sun went through my window and fell right on her urn. I think that's her way of telling me that she's got Xana and that she's made it up there to heaven." That gave me a little bit of peace, and I want to share that with you. This text made me so happy and helped comfort me a lot. I know they are all in the best place together, and one day we will all be reconnected. I am so thankful for faith, friendships, and family through this and everything else. Xana, you will not be forgotten. You have impacted so many lives and have given people so much love. I hope I can make you proud and try to leave an impact on this world and on people like you did. I love you so much, Xana, and I hope you're feeling the most happy, content, and loved in heaven right now.
Well, I'm Jeff and Xana's dad, and I think that Jasmine pretty much said it all, and everything that needs to be said, except for, we're gonna miss her. We're gonna miss her more than anybody knows, and I know a lot of you people, the ones that know her, are gonna be right there with us. It's gonna be a tough road. That kid was just, she shone light to the day when you see her. And she taught me a lot of stuff. She taught me how to be a dad. And I didn't know that until she was gone, It's like, Xana, you taught me something. I didn't know that. She's like, it became the woman that she was going to become. At the last weekend I saw her, which was a week before that, she was taking care of the house. She was taking care of things. She took my keys from me and said, "You had too much to drink, Dad. You can't drive. We'll get you a ride to your hotel." She was being the mom to all the kids and the girls, and I was really happy to see her there happy. And that's what I remember. that weekend is her being happy with the other girls, taking care of stuff. The house was beautiful, taking care of everybody. Everything was just about as good as it ever could have been in my picture as a parent. What it was going on in U of I, good grades. So I can remember that. Doesn't make it better, but it makes it a little bit easier. You know, to know that it wasn't like it was a, you know, there was issues, because there was or wasn't. We'll never know, you know. So, anyways, that's all I got, and thanks everybody for coming. And we're good.
Thanks everyone for coming. My name is Kim, and I am Xana's aunt. And I'm going to give you my testimony today. At first, when we heard of the news, I was so angry that she was taken away, all these special people. And you never think it's going to happen to your family. And then I had to sit back through my tears and realize that I really was blessed. I was fortunate to have Xana live with me for a couple years. And the memories I want to share are funny. My kids were grown, and I had Jasmine and Xana for a while. And I'll never forget the time I go into the bathroom. I don't know if you remember this. And she'd found my Crisco, and she wiped it all over her body like it was body lotion, everywhere, all over the bathroom. Thank goodness there's Simple Green. Needless to say, I just thought, I couldn't believe it, you know, how you do. And another fond memory I have is we'd go to bed at night, and I lived in a house that the floor would squeak. And Jasmine would go, "Aunt Kim, Xana won't go to bed. And she's keeping me up." So I'd get out of bed, and our floor would creak, and you could hear her little feet run to bed. And after a while, it became a game. I never even went to check on her. All I had to do was get up, and she'd hear the floor creak. And then she became a teenager, and I saw less of her. But I do have the fond memory of her calling me. She still called me then, and said, "Aunt Kim, it's the prom or a dance. Can we go get our nails done?" So I have those beautiful memories to share of going with her to get our nails done. And then she went off to college. And I don't know, I heard less and less. Once in a while, she'd text me back, but not too often. And I know she was busy with her life. I mean, you know, we were all that age once. And then I heard that she found Ethan and fell in love. And at that point, I thought to myself that I'm so glad she found love, because we all really don't know what love is until we love. And as short as her life was, I'm glad she got to have that experience. And through all this, like, I had a whole bunch of stuff in my mind, but through all this, I hope we can all look through that dark tunnel and see the light and follow that light. And I pray that we have justice someday. I say these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
We got to hear from Maddie and Kaylee and Xana's families. Thank you for sharing. Not all of Ethan's family was able to make it, and some have already shared quite a bit, and so they chose not to at this time. But just to each of you family members that shared, good job. It's so hard to boil down all of the thoughts and feelings you have for your loved one in a few minutes, and we know they mean so much more to you, and you just shared a little bit of who they are with us, so thank you. This time we're going to watch a video slideshow that Jasmine's put together of our loved ones here. We're going to watch this, and then we're going to have a time of friends sharing afterwards. Let's watch together.
I've been blessed and I have sinned. Where the skies are where I've been lucky to be alive and breathe in this midnight air. I swear you're right here, keep the chills on my skin. And as when I get this feeling, you're shining down on me, showing me the way. Angel in the night, here to save the day, like a light out of the dark, straight across the sky, up there in that starlight, starlight tonight, yeah, tonight. Running down this dream, up against this road, sometimes the only thing that I got keeps me moving on, right where I need to be, no matter where I go, never too far from home. Got you shining down on me, showing me the way. Angel in the night, here to save the day, like a light out straight across the sky, up there in that starlight, starlight tonight. Oh, tonight. To the good that die young, fighters for the freedom fight that keeps me free, and all the heroes in my heart who taught me to believe, and that's why I believe in things I can't see, shining down on me, showing me the way. Angel in the night, here to save the day, like a light out of the dark, straight across the sky, up there in that starlight, starlight tonight, yeah, up there in that starlight, starlight tonight, yeah, tonight, shining down on me. They say sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. And right now I'm losing bad. I've stood on this stage night after night, reminding the broken it'll be alright. But right now, oh, right now I just can't. It's easy to sing when there's nothing to bring me down. But what will I say when I'm held to the flame like I am right now? I know you're able and I know you can save through the fire with your mighty hand. But even They say it only takes a little faith to move a mountain. Well, good thing, a little faith is all I have right now. God, when you choose to leave mountains unmovable, oh, give me the strength to be able to sing. It is well with my soul. I know you're able and I know you can save through the fire with your mighty hand. But even if you don't, my hope is in you alone. I know the sorrow and I know the hurt would all go away if you just say the word. But even if you don't, my hope is in you alone. You've been faithful, you've been good all of my days. Jesus, I will cling to you, come what may, 'cause I know you're able, I know you can. I know you're able, and I know you can see through the fire with your mighty hand. But even if you don't, my hope is in you alone. I know the sorrow, I know the hurt would all go away if you just say the word. But even if you don't, my hope is in you alone. It is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul.
Tell me, what does it look like in heaven? Is it peaceful? Is it free like they say? Does the sun shine bright forever? Have your fears and your pain gone away? 'Cause here on earth it feels like everything good is missing since you left. And here on earth everything's different. There's an emptiness. Oh, I hope you're dancing in the sky. I hope you're singing in the angels' choir. And I hope the angels know what they have. I'll bet it's so nice up in heaven since you arrived. So tell me, what do you do up in heaven? All your days filled with love and light. Is there music? Is there art and invention? Tell me, are you happy? Are you more alive? 'Cause here on earth it feels like everything good is missing since you left. And here you arrived. I hope you're dancing in the sky, and I hope you're singing in the angels' choir, and I hope the angels know what they have. I've been some nights up in heaven since you arrived, since you arrived.
Good job, Jasmine. At this time, I'd like to invite the friends that have planned on sharing, if you would come around the backstage here, and we'll start to have a time of the friends sharing about their loss of their loved ones and the memories and the stories that they have for them. So the friends who come around the side.
Hi, my name is Ellie, and I wrote a little note for Xana. You never think that you'll be in a situation to have to write something like this for one of your best friends, so sometimes it's hard to come up with words you think are good. Xana, you were once in a lifetime friend. You are one of a kind and someone that was so incredibly easy to love. You're irreplaceable, and no words can accurately describe how amazing you were and the substantial impact you made on my life. You made life so fun. I can't imagine a better person to have experienced the last couple years of my life with. Having fun with you was a different type of fun. I've never met someone so unpredictable and free-spirited. You were funny without even trying, and were the source of everyone's laughter. Imagining my life without you feels dull and unbearable. You were a genuine and sincere friend. I think of the times I got to spend alone with you and the memories we made together and how truly special I felt to be your friend. You did a really good job of making everyone that was close to you feel significant and loved. Not many people get lucky enough to have a friend like you, Xana. I will always feel so blessed I got to experience so many new things with you. I know you will always be with me and looking over us friends. You took a little piece of me with you to heaven, and I'll miss you forever. Long live one and only DJ Zan.
Hi, I'm Maya. I have prepared a few things to say about Xana. I've actually thought a lot about what to say about my friend Xana, and the truth is I've written this so many times in so many variations that I concluded I could probably go on forever. Xana was a once-in-a-lifetime kind of friend. She was the kind of friend who made you laugh even on your hardest days. Someone who always offered to make you breakfast food, no matter the time. Someone who was always for having a good time. She's the kind of friend you just don't picture a life without because it's so much better having her in it. Xana and I shared a lot of great memories together, and it would be too hard to pick just one, so instead I've decided to share a common reoccurrence with her that always made me smile. Xana didn't know how to cook when I met her, and still hadn't learned even when she lived on her own. But she told me she wanted to learn, so when her and I spent an entire summer together in Moscow, I taught her how to cook chicken enchiladas and chicken with potatoes. These were the essential meals that Xana wanted to learn. So, keep in mind, this was also like a year and a half ago, probably, and since then, I have received dozens and dozens of phone calls asking me to come over and help her cook the chicken because she doesn't know what to do with it after it gets in the pan. This was also coupled with frantic FaceTimes, with her showing me all of the chicken enchilada ingredients on her table while she's in the background saying, "Now what?" These calls never failed to make me smile, and some of my very favorite memories have been with Xana, and I am certain I will never have as much fun as I did with her. She is easily one of the best people I've ever met, and I hope heaven knows how lucky it is to have her. I hope they have unlimited chicken enchiladas and blasés on repeat for you, my Xana girl. To say I'll miss you is an understatement, so instead I'll say I'll carry you with me forever.
Okay. Hi, my name is Emily. I was one of Xana's best friends. Xana was such an amazing, ambitious young girl. She was someone my family thought of their own. We spent almost every night together, whether it was a school night or a weekend. She was my other half. Everyone knew us as a 2-in-1 package deal. If one was invited somewhere, everyone knew we would both be there. Xana and I had an unforgettable friendship from the first day we met in the 4th grade. I knew this girl would be by my side for I could go on and share all the memories we have together, but we would be here for who knows how long. I just remember how mad our sisters used to get when we got invited to hang out with their friends. They used to tell us all the time how we were the cooler ones. We knew how annoyed they used to get, yet we still did it anyways. We would show up, have fun, knowing our sisters were across the room giving us the side eye. We loved it. We loved knowing that our presence meant so much to them. Xana was always the fun, crazy one while I tried to keep up, yet still made sure we got home safely. She always cared about everyone and made sure everyone was having just as much fun as her. She was everything, an amazing friend, comedian, pop star, therapist, sister, girlfriend, and daughter. This girl was the light in everyone's life. She lit up every room she walked in. She didn't care about what anyone had to say about her. She definitely lived up to the term YOLO. She always told me that if she were to die tomorrow, that she would be okay with it because she has lived every day to the fullest as she could and has left her mark on this world. I told her how much she meant to me every time we saw each other. She always told me I'll forever be her #1 best friend. Even though we went to different schools, we still made time to see each other. This girl has managed to convince me to drive down to Moscow during a snow blizzard just to see her. How could I say know when she guilt trips me all the time, saying she never gets to see me. She would reintroduce me and then introduce me again to all her college friends as, "This is my best friend. She's Asian," as if they couldn't figure that one out. Xana is someone so special that I'll forever hold so close to my heart. Someone I'll never forget. She left such a big impact on my life and everyone around her. We have talked and planned so much throughout this lifetime. We talked about our dream wedding and how we were going to be each other's bridesmaids. We talked about what kind of moms we were going to be. I always said I wanted 3 kids, and she said she'll probably be the single one and have no kids because she'll be the cool aunt that shows up wine drunk to family gatherings. No matter how much time spent apart, when we saw each other, it's like nothing changed, and we just saw one another yesterday. She always understood me and would stand up for me knowing even if I was in the wrong. She was such a determined girl. She knew she was gonna make it big one day. She told me if she ever got famous, she would bring me along to enjoy that life with her. She always cherished the moments and memories spent with her friends and family. We used to find ourselves in the bathroom crying to each other about how we couldn't live without our family and how much we love them. Life is so unfair and unpredictable. My heart aches knowing I can't see her again in this lifetime. And it tears me apart knowing I can't hug her. So hold those you love closer. Hug them a little tighter and tell them you love them. We'll find justice for you, Ethan, Maddie, and Kaylee. We love you all so much.
Hi, I'm Ella. I met Xana when we first got into our house at Pi-Phi at University of Idaho, and she quickly became one of my best friends. I think we all know that Xana was a very special type of person, not the type of person that many have had the blessing of meeting in their lifetime. What she had was so special, and we all saw it and felt it every day. She cherished every moment she had with any other person, and she cared about her relationships above anything else. And that is the best quality anyone can have of a friend, family member, or girlfriend. And that was one of my favorite things about her. She was just pouring love to everyone, whether it was a close relationship or someone she had just met. I just know I'm going to miss having that. Just being able to sit on the couch, doing absolutely nothing, but having the best time just because you were with and around her. I have so many memories that I hold close to me, and choosing one is hard, but here's one of my favorites. It was at the end of the school year, freshman year. Lots of people had already gone home, and Moscow in the summer, it gets pretty hot. And Zan and I and probably a few friends were sitting in the lounge at our sorority house one morning, and we decided we wanted to go get a kiddie pool to swim in it. So we called around Moscow asking, and we finally found one. And when we went to go pick it up, people that around saw 2 adult college kids running in the parking lot with a kiddie pool above their heads, screaming, "It's time to swim, let's go." So we shoved it in the back of my car. We grabbed Emily a lot, and we went to Sigma Chi to go swim. It was more sitting and trying to fit all 3 of us in the tiny pool than anything else. And that kiddie pool came center to a lot more memories entering into the school year too. I wanted to share this story because it's not much, but it's about the little things and the spontaneous things that don't seem interesting, but they become the best days of your life because of the people you were around. And a lot of my best days had Xana there. Xana, you are the light of so many lives, and one of the best parts of mine. I'll miss you every day and carry you with me. I love you.
Hi, I'm Riley. I was really good friends with Kaylee. Anyways, yeah. Anyone who knew Kaylee would tell you the same thing. To know her was to love her. Her love for life and everyone in it was so inspiring. She made it a priority to make everyone feel so important and so loved, which is such a very rare and beautiful trait. I found a quote that reminds me of her. She embodied her own sunshine, and that's when her skies became limitless. And that's the thing. Kaylee's skies were limitless. She had a drive and a passion for life. That everyone looked up to. She never said no. She was a yes girl. I remember meeting Kaylee for the first time in high school, and we immediately clicked. Soon after, we spent the whole summer together. We would make such spontaneous plans together. I remember she called me one day, just a random day, during the summer back in 2019, telling me, not asking, saying, hey, be ready in an hour. We are renting paddle boards. We're going to spend the day on them. And, that's something that I really adored about her, her spontaneity. We became the best of friends that summer. When it was time to go to U of I, Kaylee and I made plans to join the same sorority. Although we are not technically supposed to try to plan out what sorority we're going to join, we did. Bid day in 2019, Kaylee and I both ran home to Alpha Phi, which made us not only best friends, but sisters. We made so many friends and took on college together. Our sophomore year, I remember Kaylee coming into my room just weeks before spring break, like 2 or 3 weeks before spring break, saying to me, hey, let's go to Cabo for spring break. Can you make it happen? Oh, sure enough, we made it happen. Kaylee, I, and 2 of our really close friends, Zoe and Josie, flew down the California peninsula for the best vacation to date. She was so go with the flow and wanted to do everything on that vacation. The 4 of us were unstoppable on that trip. These are memories that Zoe, Josie, and I will cherish forever with her. Kaylee had a light in her, and it's our job to keep that light burning. We should focus on living like her, never saying no, loving everybody, and taking every chance that may come on our paths. I'm so blessed to have had you by my side all these years, Kaylee, and I promise to live. I promise to live just like you did. Fly high in those limitless skies, Kaylee, my sweet friend.
Hi, I'm Jordan. I was one of Kaylee's close friends. I don't even know where to start when it comes to talking about Kaylee, the person she was and wanted to be, the plan she had, and impact that she made on everyone's life. Kaylee and I had so many plans. We were planning to move together in June, and we finally, and I say finally, because it took us about 7 months to decide on a place, but we finally decided on Austin. If you were to ask us why we chose Austin, neither of us really could tell you. Our friends just simply got tired of us talking about it and forced us to decide. We talked about Boston, Nashville, San Diego, Charlotte, and even Knoxville, Tennessee. That was our biggest problem. She wanted to go everywhere and anywhere, and I was the same way. She wanted to see the world, and I was right there by her side. We often joke that someone could point to a place on a map and say, move here, and we simply would. One time, I sent her a TikTok, and the person moved to Greece, and I said, let's do it. And she said with complete seriousness, well, I'm down. Kaylee and I shared something special, a need to experience life to the fullest. We told each other time and time again that wherever we ended up, as long as we are together, we will have the best time, and I know that stays true. That was the thing about Kaylee. She lived life, and not in the sense that we were living every day. She truly 100% lived life to the fullest. And for that, I am so honored and proud to have been a part of her life. Anything, and I mean anything we would do, she would turn into an adventure, a memory, a time where we laughed and nothing else in the world mattered. Something that we would have fun doing, even if it was going to Walmart to get a bottle of wine. We would have a blast doing it. I have a lot of favorite times and memories with Kaylee that it's hard to narrow down. I mean, we studied for our praxis for months together, and it was the most miserable time, but also one of my most favorite times to look back on. If I had to pick one of my most cherished memories we have, it is the itinerary we made. So it was the week before finals, and me, her, and the other member of our trio, Cass, had so much to do, and we all decided to study day and night during the week to finish everything we had due the following week. I mean, we did everything. We were even emailing our professors asking if we could do assignments and tests early. We grinded, and somehow the three of us finished and had all of finals week free, so we made the most of it. We sat down one night and planned every day out, and sure enough, followed through with it all. It was jam-packed with plans, but we didn't want to miss out on anything, and we wanted to create memories and live our last finals week in Moscow all together as best as we could. That's the kind of person Kaylee was. She wasn't letting life go by. She was living life to the fullest. Kaylee was a very special person. She brought everyone and anyone out of their comfort zone and was the brightest light in everyone's life. To know Kaylee was to truly love Kaylee. She was everyone's go-to girl, down for anything, and the most selfless and kind person I had the pleasure of knowing. It breaks my heart that we won't be able to live out our dreams together. But for Kaylee, I will continue to live in capital letters. I will live in New York for us because that was a dream. I will travel all the places we wanted to travel, and I will continue to say yes and turn the smallest things into an adventure because that's exactly how Kaylee would want me to live. Kaylee, you will never be forgotten. We will live right for you every day with your mentality in our mind. We love you so much.
I just want to thank everyone for being here today. My name's Ashlyn. I had the honor of calling Maddie my best friend. She was truly the definition of the happy parts of life. Maddie. It's only been a little over 3 years that we've known each other. But we've had so many memories, it feels like it's been a lot longer. I think it's because the past couple of years combined, we may have spent more days together than we did apart. And I can never be more thankful for that time and the once-in-a-lifetime friendship that came with it. You grow so much as a person on your own in college, but we got to grow together through every step of the way. And for that, I'm so grateful because some people don't get that chance. Our lifelong friendship on this earth was cut way shorter than we wanted it to, but I know you will always be by my side. We made the most of the time that we did have together, though, because we always said we're only young ones. We've experienced so much together, from sharing a room in Pi-Fi to traveling together, celebrating birthdays, and everything in between. It's hard for me to choose just one memory that stands out. But what made our friendship so special were the little things that we did together.
like waking up each morning together and making our coffees, telling each other every little thing that we had on our agenda for that day. Self-tanning on Wednesdays, listening to music, and getting ready together on Thursdays, even sharing a zipped-up hoodie on a cold night out, and always having our sweet treats after dinner. We pretty much did everything together. Our weeks were like copy and paste there for a while, and you were truly my partner in crime. It never mattered where we were as long as we were together. Going through the rest of my life without you is going to be a tough one, but I'm not only living for myself now, but for the rest of the life that Maddie wasn't able to live. So I'll do all of the things that you love to do every chance I get. All the sunsets I watch, every concert I go to, every road trip I take, I hope you're looking down with a smile on your face. Our friendship was one of a kind, and I'll treasure it forever. A part of me feels empty without you, but every time I think about you, I have so many living reminders to look back on, like the decorations in my room, the matching bracelets that we have, the little notes that you wrote me, videos of all of our good moments together, and Yeah by Usher. You truly will live on forever, not only in my heart, but in the heart of so many people that were impacted by your beautiful smile, your grace, your patience, your open heart, and your craziness. You were one of the best people I've ever met, and I know I won't meet another one like you. So for the time we did have, I feel so lucky that I can tell people about my best friend, Maddie. And she's going to be a busy girl up in heaven, because she is now the guardian angel to some wild ones who really need her down here. I love you forever, Maddie May.
My name's Sophia. I didn't have anything prepared because I didn't think I would be able to get through more than like 2 sentences. But Maddie was one of my best friends, and she was also my little in her sorority, and that was just a bonus. But she was easily the best person that I knew. She loved everyone around her more than life. She loved her mom. She always told me, "Don't you think my mom's so cute and so pretty?" She knew that you did everything and anything to make her live the best possible life, and she always made us aware of that. She loved Jake. She would always say, "Don't you think he's the best guy? He's so perfect for me." And she loved all of us, and like we could just tell it was so evident, and she was so loved, and she lived her life to the absolute fullest. One of like my most fond memories, she was so excited for her 21st birthday, and I'm just so glad that we got to celebrate it with her. We went to this restaurant in Boise called Western Proper, and she was so set on this mimosa cowboy hat, and it was like $75, and we were like, oh my gosh, like, you know, do we really need to get that? But we got it, and she was so excited, and I'm just so glad that we got those memories with her. And her light and her love just shines so bright, and she will never, ever be forgotten.
Hello, my name's Hunter Johnson. Me and Ethan became best friends over the last year and a half we spent at the U of I. And since we became such good friends, I feel honored and privileged to even be able to share who he was to everyone here. I met Ethan during fall rush of last year. And if you don't know what rush looks like for fraternity guys, you're coming in as a freshman and you're walking to 10 different fraternity houses and talking to 100 different guys, trying to understand all of them and see if you fit in with them. And I remember he was the first person I talked to during rush that year, and I knew immediately that he was someone that I wanted to be friends with and someone I wanted to join my house. My first impression of Ethan was some tall, goofy kid that, looked athletic, and he was, because we played a lot of basketball during that time. Unfortunately, the basketball wasn't enough to convince him to join my house, so he ended up going to Sigma Chi, but that didn't mean we weren't going to be friends forever. So one thing he told me, because he told me he was going to join Sigma Chi, he said, "If I do that, you better not block me and ghost me on anything." And I couldn't believe he said that, because I just knew I wanted to be friends with him for a long time. He had such an infectious smile and a charismatic personality. And if you knew anything about Xana as well, they were very similar in how they acted together. Me and Ethan shared a lot of memories together. Usually at a party where me and him would be controlling the aux and be singing at the top of our lungs any country music song with 50 other people in there not saying a word, just us singing as loud as we could. Some of my other favorite memories that I had with Ethan also included Xana, and those were the times we spent on the golf course. Me, Ethan, Xana, and Emily, we went a lot over the summer and before summer. And you knew it was going to be a good time when we went golfing, when we had more drinks in our bag than we did golf balls. And we usually had to send Xana and Emily to go throughout the forest to look for more golf balls for us, because we ended up losing so many. If you knew Ethan, he was never angry about anything. He would never get upset. You couldn't upset him ever. And one time we went to play 18 holes, and he wanted to bet money every hole, $2 every hole. If you won the hole, you got $2. If you tied, you didn't get it, it just turned to $4 the next hole. And I remember he won the first hole. He whooped me, actually, that first hole, and I remember him being so happy, and he was pretty confident going up to the next hole. Unfortunately for Ethan, I ended up winning the next 17 holes. If you also knew Ethan, you knew he wasn't great with money. And so it wasn't a great feeling when I had to come up to him and ask for the $34 he owed me after the round, because he would ask me to get him drinks every week. He'd say, "Hunter, I need some Bud Light Limes. Can you go to the store and get me some?" And I was like, "Yeah, Ethan, I'd love to, after you pay me back for the last 2 weeks that I got you Bud Light Limes." But so yeah, as you suspect, I never got those $34. Ethan was always someone you could count on to make you smile and cheer up your mood. Everybody loved him and his beautiful mustache he had, and I feel so lucky to have shared so many great memories with him. I'm gonna miss our favorite Moana songs we would sing together. me visiting you and Xana at your parents' house with Emily, and you guys also coming to my cabin and hanging out with my family, and watching you carry all of your drinks in a garbage bag when you walked into a party. I know we're all gonna miss these. I love you so much, E and Xana. Thank you.
My name is Chris. I'm one of the pastors here, and I'm going to be reading two different letters, one from Dylan and one from Bethany. This is from Dylan Mortensen. To Xana and Ethan, the two best friends but perfect pair together. They had this unstoppable, loving relationship. They both would look at each other with so much love. Everyone knew they were the perfect duo. They both had this fun, passionate, crazy, but good energy. They both were the kind of people who cared about everyone and would help anyone. Xana was the life of the party. If she was there, it was going to be great. But Xana was so much more than a girl who could just have fun. She was strong, intelligent, hardworking, and a beautiful person. Xana was taking this math class, a class I was also taking, and the amount of effort and hard work she put into that class was the only reason I tried to pass it. She would constantly uplift me and tell me I could do it. Xana was also a very big people person. She could make a conversation with anyone, any friend and any parent. She loved the parents, especially the moms. Every tailgate, she would talk to a new mom, get their phone number, and text them. Everyone that got the chance to know her loved her. I was and am so lucky to have experienced a life with her as her being one of my closest friends. I didn't know Ethan until this semester. I wish I would have gotten to know him more. He was so sweet and loving to Xana. Xana was like his whole world, and you could see it in him. While Ethan was like a friend, he was also like an older brother to me. I got to experience what an older brother would be like. He was this goofy guy who I could make sarcastic jokes to. Every time I saw him, he'd give the sarcastic jokes right back. He was also loving to my friends and to me. He cared like Xana about everyone. He was easygoing and easy to talk to. I'm glad I got the time I had to know Ethan, and I'm so thankful to have gotten to know such an amazing person. I know somewhere Xana and Ethan are together, keeping each other company, watching us and telling us it's okay and that we have each other. Maddie and Kaylee, the inseparable duo, the two best friends that were like sisters. Maddie and Kaylee were like second moms to me. They taught me a lot on how to be a responsible adult, but also how to live life happy. They changed the way I look at life and how to enjoy life to the fullest. Maddie was the cute ray of sunshine. She didn't ever have a negative thought in her mind. I don't think I ever have seen Maddie stressed about anything. This happy-go-lucky kind of girl who loved life to the fullest. I got to know Maddie last year and loved her when I met her. And then I got the chance to get closer with her this year. I'm so lucky to have gotten to experience life with her in it. She had this passionate love for everyone. Everyone who knew her got to feel her love. And she was so compassionate to everyone and wanted everyone to be happy. She got this new hot pink puffy jacket and wore it everywhere. She was a very big pink color kind of girl. She would do this cute little skipping dance every time I saw her. She just had these cute little mannerisms that I loved. She was such a beautiful person inside and out. She had pretty much her whole life together. I missed seeing her little dances when we would go out and seeing her laugh and smile. I loved seeing her smile because when she would smile, you could see her eyes and her little button nose smile too. And Kaylee was one of the most hardworking, strong, driven people I have ever met. If she wanted to do something, she'd work for it. She was the kind of person that I look up to. She, like Maddie, had her whole life together. A few weeks ago, she had bought a Range Rover all by herself. When I went to see her and she had a brand new Range Rover, I remember just thinking, holy crap, Kaylee, I'm so proud of you, and she was able to buy it all by herself. Even though she was a girl so driven and hardworking, she loved to have fun and to joke around. She would come up to a couple of us and be like, guys, you know how I'm like such a prankster and just love to prank people? And she would start laughing, and we would laugh and get all excited to do a little prank on one of our friends. And then we proceed to start the prank. Kaylee would just be laughing and smiling about how funny it was. She also had one of the brightest smiles, and I would always compliment her to make sure she knew she did. And she would be like, really? And get so happy when I complimented her. To my 4 best friends who deserve to live a long, happy life, my life was greatly impacted to have known these 4 beautiful people. My people who changed my life in so many ways and made me so happy. I know it will be hard to not have the 4 of them in our lives, but I know Xana, Ethan, Maddie, and Kaylee would want us to live life and be happy, and they would want us to celebrate their lives. To the people I will always love forever, and to the people I will remember and miss so much, to Xana, Ethan, Maddie, and Kaylee. And this is from Bethany. Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan were truly all one of a kind. They all lit up any room they walked into and were gifts to this world. I wish every day that I could give them all one last hug and say how much I loved them. I've thought a lot about what I would say to each of them if I could. Kaylee, you were truly one of the funniest people I've ever known. No matter what you said or what story you were telling, you found a way to make it so funny and have us all laughing. You were so sweet and giving. I was always so impressed by how you knew what you wanted and you would go after it and nothing would stop you. You always lit up a room with your big smile and big personality that was so lovable and enjoyable, and I will love and miss you forever. Ethan, you had the brightest, most fun personality. It was amazing how you could walk into a room and the whole vibe of the room would go up and everyone was just instantly happier. You always had the biggest smile on your face. Your smile and your laugh were so contagious. It made everyone want to be around you at all times because you were just such a good time and such a fun, happy person. You had so much love in your heart for everyone, but it especially shined in your relationship with Xana. The way you loved her was truly admirable and so special. It made people believe in true love. I love and miss you so much, Ethan. Xana, there was no one out there like you. When I think of you, I think of a loving, fun, energetic, funny, passionate, determined, sweet person. I was always so impressed by you. Every single day, without a doubt, you tried to better yourself and were so determined to accomplish all of the goals that you'd set for yourself. When someone mentions the life of the party, everyone thinks of you. You had the most charismatic personality and always made everyone smile. Anyone who ever met you instantly wanted to be friends with you and always wanted to be around you. You always made anything that we did so much fun and memorable. Not only did all the kids love you, but so did all of the parents. You always had all of the moms' phone numbers because they all just loved you so much, even after only meeting you for a short time. There really wasn't one person that didn't love you and your amazing personality. I love you so much and miss you like crazy. And Maddie, I don't even know where to begin. You were the sweetest and most loving person I've ever known. You had so much love in your heart for so many people. You're not only one of my best friends, but you were the older sister that I'd always wanted. No matter what, you always made me feel so loved and special. You always made sure to include me in everything. I was so beyond happy and proud that you were my big. I would introduce you to everyone and anyone, telling them that you were my big. I would even introduce you multiple times to one person in the same night. I always looked up to you so much. You were always so organized, determined, and had your priorities straight, and you always gave me the best advice. And no matter what, you would always help me and were always willing to help. I really believe that you would have been so successful and would have accomplished all of your goals in life because that's just who you were. Thank you for making my life so fun and enjoyable with all of the memories and adventures that we had. Thank you for being a ray of sunshine. Thank you for always being there for me no matter what and always having my back. Thank you for always finding a way to make me smile or laugh, and for making my life better just by being your friend. You always told me that everything happens for a reason, but I'm having a really hard time trying to understand the reason for this. Maddie, I truly don't know what I'm supposed to do without you. You honestly made my life so much better. I just want you to know that I will always love you and miss you forever. You all were gifts to this world in your own special way, and it just won't be the same without you. I love you all so much and miss you all so much. You will never be forgotten and will forever be in all of our hearts. As we just consider the memories that have been shared, the stories that have been shared, and consider these amazing people, we wanted to share a special song with you that reflects some of the pain and some of the hope that we can find. And so we're going to listen to this song by a band called Casting Crowns called No Scars in Heaven. And I would just encourage you in this time to maybe take some time for yourself to reflect on their lives and what they meant to you. So you can direct your attentions to the screen.
If I had only known the last time would be the last time, I would have put off all the things I had to do. I would have stayed a little longer, held on a little tighter. Now what I'd give for one more day with you. 'Cause there's a wound here in my heart where something's missing, and they tell me that it's gonna heal with time. But I know you're in a place where all your wounds have been erased, and knowing yours are healed is healing mine. The only scars in heaven that won't belong to me and you. There'll be no such thing as broken, and all the old will be made new. And the thought that makes me smile now, even as the tears fall down, is that the only scars in heaven are on the hands that hold you now. I know the road you walked was anything but easy. You picked up your share of scars along the way. Oh, but now you're standing in the sun. You fought your fight and your races run. The pain is all a million miles away. The only scars in heaven, it won't belong to me and you. There'll be no such thing as broken, and all the old will be made new. And the thought that makes me smile now, even as the tears fall down, is that the only scars in heaven, yeah, are on the hands that hold you now. Not a day goes by that I don't see you. You live on in all the better parts of me. Until I'm standing with you in the sun, I'll fight this fight in this race I'll run, until I finally see what you can see. Oh, the only scars in heaven won't belong to me. Yeah. such thing as broken, and all the old will be made new, and the thought that makes me smile now, and even as the tears fall down, is that the only scars in heaven are on the hands that hold you now.
To all the friends and family that have shared, done a great job. It's been fun to hear some of the fun stories. Just want to again thank you for taking the time to do that. I know it's so hard to boil it down into just a few minutes. Well, I have the privilege and the challenge of sharing a message of hope in the midst of all of this. And I want to share just different Bible verses as we spend some time together. And I look to the Bible because it has spoken so much to me. It has outlasted every country and nation. It's around the world, thousands of years old, and has truth in there that speaks to every moment in life, as we're going to find out here in a few minutes. Before I get started sharing about that, I want to kind of draw an analogy between life and spiritual things to that of the ocean. I don't know if you've ever had the chance to stand on the shore of the ocean, maybe put your feet in the water. Maybe it was warm, maybe it was cold, but there was a beauty, a vastness, in some sense a stillness, and yet in other sense a power. Maybe even seen a part of the ocean where there can be such power, it almost looks like rage and violence. And I think life and spiritual things are a lot like the ocean. There are things that we get to enjoy and things we can understand and that we can take in, and yet there are also things that we don't understand that are beyond our comprehension, things that are painful and dangerous. And so as we come to talk about hope, as we come to think about life and how do we move on from this time, how do we remember our loved ones but not allow this tragedy to also consume our lives? And before I speak of hope, I need to address in my mind the greatest obstacle to that hope, and I think it's the question, why? Why did this happen? Why to them? And putting that question of why, of God, where are you? God, why didn't you stop? Why didn't you protect? Why do I hurt so much? What do I do about the fear that I still have? And this question of why is actually not a new question. I want to read a couple of verses from the Bible. These were recorded over 3,000 years ago. It says, "O Lord, why do you stand so far away? Why do you hide when I am in trouble? The wicked are too proud to seek God. They seem to think that God is dead, yet they succeed in everything they do. Why do the wicked get away with despising God? They think God will never call us to account. But Lord, you know the hopes of the helpless. Surely you will hear their cries and comfort them." Another writer wrote this, my God, why have you abandoned me? Why are you so far away when I groan for help? Every day I call to you, my God, but you do not answer. Every night I lift my voice, but I find no relief. O Lord, do not stay far away. You are my strength. Come quickly to my aid. Similar questions of, God, where are you? Why are these things happening? Thought you were to be the source of good and to help. And for me, this is kind of where that analogy of the ocean comes in. There's so much of life I don't understand. So much of who God is and how he operates are so far beyond my comprehension and really anyone's comprehension. I think of the vastness and the depth of the ocean, but even greater than that, I think of our universe, that we can't even see to the edge of it. We don't know all that is out there. We know pieces of it. And so to be able to understand God and how he operates and what he does and why things happen, I think there are some things that we know and some things that we don't know. But I want to share some of the things that I do know, some of the things that bring hope and that can hopefully help us overcome this obstacle of why. And I want to start off by just saying that God cares and that God hates evil. He hates death. He hates what has happened. He is not the source of this pain. He's not the source of evil. Evil is not greater than him. Evil is simply the absence of God. When God is rejected and pushed aside over and over and over again, evil is the result. And God hates evil. He is a God that is good, a God of love and of comfort and of peace. Think about the story that's recorded in the Bible about Jesus, about how Jesus responded when one of his friends died. And it says that Jesus wept. Later on, Jesus performs a miracle where he raises that friend from the dead, but death and pain are not what God, it's not what he wants. Jesus actually said that he came that you may have life and have that life abundantly. Think about this is why God sent Jesus to come to this earth, to make a way for us to be able to escape the pain and death, why he has heaven for us, if we're willing to trust him, to come to him. One of Jesus' closest friends had a vision of heaven, and he recorded that in the book of Revelation, and it says this. It says, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the old heaven and the old earth had disappeared, and the sea was also gone. And I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven like a bride beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud shout from the throne saying, 'Look, God's home is now among his people. He will live with them, and they will be his people. God himself will be with them. And he will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and there will be no more death or sorrow or crying or pain. All these things are gone forever.'" This is the heart of God and what God has for those that are willing to come to him, those that are willing to reject the evil and accept the good that he is. To bring peace and life. And I want to share just two ways of how do we in this time, how do you move through this season? How do you overcome? One of those ways is by choosing good. One of the verses recorded in the Bible says, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." The solution through this pain is goodness. It is love. It was encouraging to hear how many friends and family were speaking of the good they look forward to do in memory of the loss of their loved one. You will need to do that, to choose to press in to the good, to not allow the evil and the
Thank